Welcome to the Lummy Sports Show, where we bring you the latest news and updates from the world of sports. Along with our unique perspectives and insights, I'm Lumix, and I'm joined by my co-host, Brian the Babyface Matroni, and Rhett the Filthy Ginger, two of the most knowledgeable and entertaining voices in sports today. Whether you're a diehard fan or just a casual observer, we've got you covered with in-depth analysis, lively debate, and plenty of laughs along the way. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some sports talk like you've never heard it before. Let's go!
What an intro, Lummy. Best ever.
Thank you, buddy.
Good job, man.
Wow, what a great intro. That must have been written by the great. Who is here today? Babyface Brian Matroni.
No, absolutely not. That was AI generated, my friend.
Courtesy of Chat GPT.
Chat GPT created that for you. Brian from Philly with $10 on the YouTube.
Let's go, man. I got to tell you, those Chat GPT bots, those ones in particular that write things out for you like that, their favorite phrase is sit back and relax.
Yeah.
I shit you not.
Is it?
9 times, because I was telling Brian before the show, I use a plugin for our YouTube called vidIQ, and it just helps with, some of the back end stuff, SEO, all of that special stuff that makes the numbers go burr. But it's like every time it generates a description for you, it will say the very last line will be, so sit back, relax, and get ready for some of the best whatever content, whatever category.
Well,
But sit back and relax is a very, very common theme more times than not.
You can get ready for some sports talk like you've never heard it before.
Some hot man-on-man talk.
Yeah, with Brian's take on everything from sports jerseys to super fan, like the nasty or big nasty,
Nasty.
whatever his name is, the big nasty.
You read that better
your
than I
boy.
thought you would, Lummy. It wasn't flawless, but it was pretty good.
Well,
For
I
a
did.
dry run, Willie.
To be honest, when I paused, I was turning your guys' mic on, so I'm sorry.
I know, and I thought you may have thought we would say hello or something like that, but that's why we let you go with it. But yeah, that's Chat GPT though. I'll tell you, if it's getting really good, and the thing with AI is it will get exponentially faster and better, and there are a lot of implications in the sports world for it. I mean, if you think about the ability to pick the most optimal play to run and the most optimal pitch to throw at any given moment in the game.
But aren't they kind of already doing that with baseball now?
They're trying
With
but
with the Kevin Cash and Joe
This is going to be
Madden.
next level though. This is going to be like they have like pre-scripted ideas and things like that. This is going to be in-game decision making potentially, not robot coaches, but potentially to get to that level of okay. The most ideal pitch to throw in this scenario is a changeup. Now, the other side's potentially going to have that knowledge as well. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
But what's your guys' opinion on that? Because, I mean, do you think that the human brain still has that, can outthink what the computers say might be the best? If the human's already thinking, well, I think the chat or whatever, the computer's going to think it's going to be a changeup or maybe a fastball, and you're already kind of thinking, then you can pick up the ball. I mean, does it really give that much of a benefit? Or do you think the human can outsmart it at that, at least in sports?
I mean, in sports, there's always going to be a human element.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what they say about every referee, every umpire ever. There's a human element that would be taken away from the game if you just threw a robot in there, because a robot would probably be perfect. You know what I'm saying?
On
like
balls and
if we're
strikes, absolutely.
exactly. If we're alluding to a robotic umpire, like it's going to be damn near perfect every single time. But I don't know, man. Like I'm not saying bad calls are part of the game, but at the end of the day, that shit is part of the game, and there's a human element to putting a sport like that together. Like I don't know, it just feels better with an actual guy.
And you know what? Chat makes a good point. Poodle Ball and Hall of Famer, by the way. AI. He doesn't need AI to tell him how to play. They don't wear cool.
It's a great point.
They don't.
Good job going to that one, Lummy.
AIs do not wear cool shirts like that, though. Babyface is still number one in my book.
Yep.
Everyone loves that shirt. Brian, is that one of those 3D ones? If I stare at it long enough, will I find something in it?
Yeah, it's like a hidden picture.
Only if you're on your knees in front of me, buddy.
I'll find that 4-inch little worm popping out of your pants.
Whatever.
I guess so. All right. Well, actually, before we talk about the draft and a lot of other things, it popped in my head because with the whole computer chat GPT, AI, whatever, do you think that will affect gambling, Brian and Rhett?
Absolutely. I think you can create gambling programs that will, with the right amount of data, and everything is data driven, right? So it's in garbage in, garbage out. But if you're putting in good, high quality data, you can develop programs that are going to start to be able to beat Vegas. I mean, that's the thought process. Is
pattern recognition, data collection, watching games every week.
Yeah, and where it gives now, will it be enough of an edge to overcome the 10% juice? That's another question, because there is still you still have to play the games.
Yeah,
and even though they may be able to predict results, with a certain level of accuracy, it to beat Vegas, you got to be a hell of a sports booker. I mean, most people lose.
813-90-BUBBA, 813-90-BUBBA. But Brian, do you think that Vegas is already using this with their odds?
Oh, they're going to be ahead of the curve, absolutely.
So I mean, because we have seen in the last, I don't know, 5 years, like from the NCAA to MLB to NFL, NHL, like them predicting either the scores or just in basketball, let's say 156. And you're like, there's no way they're going to get 156. It ends up being like 154, 158. It's a 2.5 point spread. It ends up being a 3-point game, or a 2 point and a half a point makes a difference. I mean, do you think Vegas has already been on top of this and they're already using that to their advantage?
They are, to a certain degree. I mean, there's things you just can't account for within a game, right? Like Giannis getting injured and going out in the first half of a game. There's no computer program. I mean, they could probably account for it if you program that in as to how that would potentially change things. But on the front side, it's hard to do. But I'm sure that Vegas is already, every competent bettor has some sort of computer system now. I mean,
yes, you are correct.
It's not all gut. They're using something like that. But the thing behind AI is that it is able to, it's not just reliant on the data that you're putting into it. Potentially, it's able to find patterns and things that you yourself, as the programmer, wouldn't be able to find and see.
I think there is, and maybe it's just me, just like Rhett saying, like a Florida team would be more interesting to watch than other things. But I still think there's I've looked at.
You want to support homegrown AI. I get it.
Well,
I mean,
no, but like
I only support AI if the program was made in
Florida. Yeah, exactly.
813 based.
No, but what I'm trying to say is, Brian, you look at let's say a fantasy lineup that something can generate for baseball or something like that, and you're like, you know what, I kind of feel like this guy might be hot, and you put him in, and it actually works out. You know what I mean? You get that gut feeling that it might be a little wrong.
You can ride a gut feeling, certainly. Over the course of 1,000 permutations of that, the computer is going to beat your gut.
Yeah,
even
kind of like in Jeopardy,
like yours. What?
Wasn't that in Jeopardy too, where they had whoever?
Yeah, they had Watson.
Yeah, Watson versus.
But that was like a minute. Like if they put a real AI, like Jeopardy trained AI against any human, now it wouldn't even be a competition.
That's true. 641.
All right.
Yeah, late.
641.
You got him potted up?
Yeah, he's potted up.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, it's our fastest caller.
When I say your area code, you start talking.
Yeah, come on, Brandon the Quad.
Come on, man. Did you get blocked from chat?
Oh, don't worry,
Speaking
Brian.
of chat, GPT.
Did you see that?
Brian, he's our USFL, XFL.
Oh yeah. Okay, what's our update?
Opening weekend.
Well, the championship games it's going to be the Dragons versus the DC
Gladiators,
Defenders,
whatever.
Defenders,
called.
And 2 Texas teams on the other side.
Hey, Brandon, real quick.
Oh, wait, is it? Because I predicted. Brian, remember we predicted the XFL?
Yeah.
Was it the Rocks team? I think I picked the San Antonio bullshit team, whatever.
The Brahmas are awful.
Yeah, you
God
picked the
damn
Brahmas.
it. What? There's 3 Texas teams in this thing?
Yes, there is.
Oh, my God. Fuck
I
this league.
don't even remember who I picked.
You
Probably
you picked Orlando, and they suck too.
Did I got behind Vegas. Was that my team?
Yeah, you got behind Vegas.
They're the second worst team in the league.
Brandon, let me ask you. You're a resident XFL expert here. What the fuck is up with the Battlehawks not making the playoffs, but some 4-7 team did? Because of these shitty divisions?
Yeah, because they need to do realignment, but they won't.
Oh my God! Yeah, Brian. Hold on, sorry, Brian. We did. I picked the Brahmins 3-7. Rhett picked the 1-9 Guardians, which goes along with his NFL picks.
Yeah, come on now. I gotta stay true to the game.
And Brian, I think you picked the.
Can we talk about? Do we think AJ McCarron's going to get a look from an NFL team this offseason?
Yes, I think so.
I mean, I think Tampa. It would be fool if they don't make a move and get something out of the draft. The Tampa would be foolish not to take a look at AJ McCarron after what he's done in the XFL.
Yeah, that'd be a good move.
I mean, bring him back in. I mean, what's going to hurt it?
You got ties with head coach Anthony Beck. Not that makes it any easier to do, but
he was on the Bengals, correct? His last team.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yeah, see, Brendan, thank you. Our XFL. I mean, so I think he was underneath.
Covered,
I think he was behind.
Actually, his last team was Houston.
Oh, God damn it, Brandon.
He's
sorry, kind of quad moment there.
Yeah, what next for this guy is?
He's 2-2 as a starter with 6 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in his career. 63% completion percentage. Not too shabby. 22 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown. He just hasn't gotten into games very often.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I'm surprised at Houston too, but still.
Yeah,
I mean, I could see someone giving him a chance to come into training camp and compete, at least for a backup role. I don't see him like being able to compete with the starter unless Houston all of a sudden wants him back.
Well, Houston's going to be drafting a quarterback most likely.
Yeah, but at least to start the first 5-6 games.
Let's get into the draft
hold on.
now.
Hold on. We still got our expert on the line.
We do.
Okay.
Yeah,
what else you got for us on the XFL? Who's going to win it all?
Probably the Defenders because they got a great defense.
Well, obviously they're called the Defenders. Is there a team called the Offenders that might be able to beat them?
Nope, the 2 Texas teams are shitty.
Yeah.
Well, what about USFL real quick? Because I know that's a really hot topic.
That's a really shitty league. I don't even watch that anymore. I gave up on that.
It was opening weekend. You gave up on it.
You're our guy.
You quit? We have nobody to replace you, Brandon.
But I'm all about sports betting it though. I just don't watch it.
So you bet on it, but you don't watch it.
Yeah, this guy.
That's a genius move, by the way. Don't be familiar with it at all. Just blindly throw money at it.
Yeah, are you running the Chat GPT 62 version of it?
No, dude, that's all gut. That's all gut.
All gut.
But I just bet a nickel a game.
Oh, that's it.
Win what? Like 50 cents?
They let you bet a nickel?
Yeah.
Are you betting at the Iowa?
God, you're literally nickel and diamond.
Yeah, are you betting at the Iowa?
Fuck, like what a waste of time.
Is that the Iowa casino?
No, it's on FanDuel.
Oh.
And so you bet a nickel, and then you don't watch the game, and you just check the next day to see if you've got 10 cents in there?
Yes.
Hall of Fame. Sorry, Hall of Fame Scout and Big Gulp, $29.95 in the super chat. High five up to Top Girl Scout to Rhett on stepping up.
Sports betting, did you guys see the Fanatics is getting in the game?
Yes, they are. The Fanatics, not here in Tampa, but they're owned by the same company, but the New York office is actually going to be getting into sports gambling. Did you know that, Brian?
Anything with gambling is a smart move.
But I didn't know if you knew that.
When you have the juice.
Well, Fanatics, I mean, they can't make good jerseys anymore, but maybe they can be better at sports gambling. But Brian, I forgot to bring. Well, you weren't here last week. It was just me and Rhett.
It was like a 20-minute show after Bubba went on. Bro, I tried to make it, bro. And bro, you don't even know, bro, how hard it was, bro, for me. I'm sitting there watching,
my favorite was...
Bro. I'm sitting there watching, bro. And bro,
man.
No joke, bro.
Bro, man, dude.
Bro.
Listen, man.
Yeah, bro.
Listen, bro stuff.
When I stepped in, bro.
Do you think that there's a chance that Fanatics maybe trying to do some kind of deal with the Seminole Indians if they're going to start their own, since they have that big office right down the street from here?
I mean, maybe at some point. Did we call out Scout?
Yes.
And Big
we did.
Did you not hear me?
Thank you. Thank you,
praise?
Scout Big
I block you out, man. I block you out. But that was a big enough one that I'll double up on it.
Yeah, come on, bro.
I love those chicks. They're awesome.
Thanks, bro. Even Scott said thanks, bro. Brandon,
thanks, bro 1 and bro
Brandon,
2.
I'm very disappointed in you that you're betting a nickel in the USFL and you don't even watch the games.
That's weird, dude. That is beyond weird.
You know what? That is
that's really really.
I mean, maybe that's
really,
why. At the end of the day, we should take the context clues for what they are. The fact that he's only betting a nickel is probably because
Well, 'cause he doesn't know who the fuck he's
not allowed
betting
to bet
on.
anymore. Because he just makes fucking blind bets like
I
that.
look at their stats. I just don't sit down and watch the games.
Well,
Yes.
Brandon, you don't stand
So
up. You always are sitting.
Who's
so
the best team on the Michigan Panthers? Who's the best player on the Michigan Panthers?
that was a dick. Sorry, Brandon.
The water boy.
Okay. They're 2-0, by the way. They're in first place in the North. If you had been paying attention.
Well, to be honest, I've actually scrolled through and seen a
Philadelphia
couple
Stars,
USFL.
former champs, right?
The Pittsburgh Maulers are pretty bad.
I was watching that Stars and Maulers
And the
game, and I
Gamblers
gotta
are
tell you,
bad,
that
too.
was the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. That game was terrible.
And yeah,
What was the final score?
the worst team is
Which
the
one?
Showboats.
Week 2, it was Maulers. Oh, I'm sorry,
20
Maulers
to
and
3.
Generals.
Yeah,
That's what it
20 to
was.
3.
Yeah, that was awful. Awful. Just a complete waste of time.
The Memphis Showboats are struggling, though.
Jesus Christ!
They're bad.
Fucking Macho Man just scared the shit out of me.
He moves in silence.
No kidding, man. I just felt this huge figure. Have you met Babyface before?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh,
Brian, this is very Macho Man.
is in the studio. Oh, yeah, Brandon the Quad on the phone.
Dig it.
Doesn't watch the USFL, so you're just our XFL specialist. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it. Anything else, everybody?
All right, dude. Sounds good.
Anything else? You
All
got?
right, dude, sounds good.
All right, bye. See you later. Brandon's gone. Made it quick. Thank you.
Man,
Sorry,
real
I got a little
super
scared.
quick.
Short spaced himself.
Yeah, exactly. I can't believe he bets a nickel on it. But yeah, obviously the USFL, according to our big-time expert, Brendan the Quad, all he does is sit around and watch football because he's a stud. He said it sucks. But, check it out if you can. Let's get into – well, hold on
draft?
real quick. Right before
Should we
the
talk about
draft.
Aaron Rodgers?
Right, well, yeah, hold on. Right before the draft, I don't want to really get into it. Do you think the Lightning have a chance
No.
to win 3 in a row?
No, the Lightning did.
Nope.
The Lightning should be up 3-1 right now,
Correct.
and we should be talking about how this series is over and how Toronto needs to rebuild and yada yada yada. But the Lightning, they blew it. They flat out blew it.
I mean, they saved that coaching staff's job in Toronto, honestly.
Yeah.
And,
well, not
and
just the coaching staff, the core. I mean, at some point you have to break that down after 6 or 7 years of losing in the first round. I don't know that this changes much for Toronto because they didn't win it as much as the Lightning lost it.
Yeah.
I
think even if
I don't think they win in the next round against Boston. I don't think, so, you won a playoff series, good. Now maybe you build on it next year. But if you don't win or at least make it to the Eastern Conference Finals next year, I don't know how you keep that core together or why you would.
I
think they break it down.
I think with where the Lightning are, honestly, though, you hear Bubba talk about it all the time. Pat Maroon says they're tired, and that's true. They played a shit ton of hockey. But even if they won the series and they were up 3-1, with the mistakes that we have seen, even late in the season, was this a team that was going to go on to beat Boston?
Possibly.
I don't know, man. I don't know if they were going to be that
That's
team.
it.
I think
Not-
Boston could
not
like,
unless Vazzy had his A+ game, and he hasn't even had his B game. So no, they would not have beaten Boston with Vazzy unless Vazzy had his A game. There's no chance. No chance.
And Toronto's figured it the fuck out with Vasilevsky. He's good, man, but he is not good at finding the puck from range. Like if you're just sniping it at him, he's not going to find it. And that's what they've been doing.
He's okay.
Every
They've
single
been redirecting. I mean, look, that overtime goal. There's not a goalkeeper in the
every
world
single one of their
that's
goals is a
stopping that.
screen.
And it's part of that is not having the guys get the guys out from the front of the net. Like the Lightning are not dominating that space. They're letting Toronto get there. I mean, the goal, the what was it? The third goal, where the puck wasn't even going to be on net and the guy redirected it. I mean, there's nothing a goalie can do about that. It's not like Vazzy's let in a ton of soft goals, but there was a time when those goals he would be stopping those. He would get lucky or have the
timing,
the awareness and the timing to get it, but it's just it's not looking good. I would say the Lightning probably folded up. They probably lose.
Yeah, and I can see probably Vasilevsky getting that same surgery Jameis had. He's probably his eyesight's a little off, don't you think?
I bet you they win tonight.
Yeah,
I bet you they win tonight and then they lose in Tampa.
No, but Brian, I mean, do you guys think that LASIK would help Vasilevsky? Maybe.
Maybe they don't play tonight though.
No, they play
my
tomorrow
bad. I
night.
thought they played
Yeah,
tonight.
no, they play tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow night of the
Travel
draft.
day.
Yeah, they've got an extra travel day in there.
Yeah,
so.
5-6-1. Hello. Disappointing.
Hey, it's Dave from West Palm.
Hey, Dave Westbaum, best caller is.
Hey, quick question. Just going back to USFL real quick. What's the over/under on that? That will even come back next year, or that'll fold up to?
No, I think it will come back next year. I think they have.
The ratings are horrible.
I know,
don't
but
know,
I think they have a deal. I think they have a 3-year deal with the USFL.
They could
Fox.
have a deal, but if the product is fucking terrible and nobody's watching it, then
Yeah,
they
but
can
what else?
obviously forego that deal and just throw it off in the air.
What else are they going to put on there, though?
Anything?
The XFL. I mean, the
Women's
timetable. The timetable is really not that much of an overlap. I mean, we're talking an extra 6-7 weeks of football.
They're
at
on the
this
same.
point?
They're on the same network, so it's not like it's really hurting it.
But I think, I mean, listen, they've tried this deal before a long time ago, and then they tried the XFL, and that's sort of not doing well. I mean, listen, spring football just doesn't work.
No, it could work. We broke this down. No, it could work. We broke it down a couple weeks ago. Brian, you're a lawyer. You got a lot of money. You should invest in this league. We talked about it. Remember, you get a player. You get a guy from the stands coming down. You do all this crazy shit. You get the fans more involved. You make it a crazy-ass league. You don't make it trying to be like the NFL. And I think it could work. That's why arena football used to work.
Well, the XFL used to work too.
Yeah.
But what we're noticing, though, is that these, arena football used to work. XFL worked for a minute, and you have these things, and then they fizzle out. And I don't even know that there's a market there anymore. I don't know, man. The fact that not a single USFL game cleared 1 million viewers in the first week is not good for them.
Yeah, that opening weekend's the best they're gonna get.
No, I guess pickleball.
Unless
I guess
the championship game comes around, and
I guess pickleball can replace the USFL then.
There you go. I will say that I'm always going to be an advocate for more what would be considered minor league football, I guess. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys that want to play, but at the end of the day, I think the XFL is putting out a better product on the field than the USFL is, head and shoulders. I did not see anything from any of the USFL games on opening weekend that made me want to watch more of it. I will admit, when I watched the Orlando Guardians beat, DC, who was undefeated and the number 1 team in the XFL at the time, that was kind of cool because there were a lot of cool-ass plays in that game. It was high scoring.
That was their first win, too,
That was
wasn't
their
it?
only win. They went 1-8. I think 1-9 this year.
But the XFL is the same thing, though. They're averaging 500,000 viewers a game. It's just not sustainable. They're putting up Maction numbers. It's you can't sustain a professional football league at that level. The other issue that you have is getting these guys out there. Yeah, they may want to play, but they're not going to play 5 years in a league for $25,000 a season. And it at some point it becomes a dollars and cents issue for these guys. And it's great that they've got networks on board. I just don't see it. I just don't see the product lasting. There can only be one league, and they've got to figure out a way to make it work. You can't have competing leagues.
XFL, USFL, Interleague, they have talked about them playing for
one championship.
Yeah, the championship.
That would
and eventually, I bet
that could be cool. That could be cool, but again, it's these markets that don't matter, games that really don't matter, players that you don't have.
Look out, Lummy, he's back.
Real connection to. It's just I don't know. If it's gonna work, somebody has still not found the exact formula.
989.
Is this the Babyface show?
Yeah, it's a Babyface show. I knew you would call in.
Brian, you have to be my favorite radio host. You know that?
Who's this?
It's our guy that loves me to rub belly and call in and just be Compton funny.
Yeah. Okay, bring the funny.
Yeah,
Let's get
Lummy,
funny.
See.
this is the low data Willie here from Michigan Wolverine.
Yeah.
So on your replays on Kick and Rubble.
Yeah. What's going on in sports world?
Not much.
All right.
All right.
You got Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, we're gonna get into all that, Lummy. Thanks.
I know. I
can't deal with this. Let's get into actual real sports talk. No more spring football.
Well, calm down, Brian.
Don't call my phone telling me you're banned from chat.
Let's go.
All right, Brian, calm down. I'm sorry. Well, let's first start. We can start off with the Aaron Rodgers.
We have limited
Aaron
time.
Rodgers talk. We got plenty of time, Brian, because you're here. We have Aaron Rodgers got traded. What do you think? Well, besides the fact that both of you guys didn't think that he would be playing for the Jets back with the Packers, but we'll move on from that topic right there.
After last year when you were completely wrong.
Listen, Brian,
wrong,
it's a 50%
even
chance.
though you had insider knowledge.
I did, and he would have been a Bronco, but they didn't pull the trigger. So let's move on from that topic.
He would have been a Buck, but they didn't pull the trigger. He would have been a Bear, but they didn't pull the trigger.
Oh no. The Bucks thing the Bucks thing did come out with Brett Favre. But what do you guys think of that trade?
I think that the Packers got a little bit more than if I was the Jets, I would have been willing to give up.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because of that conditional pick, or
the fact that it becomes a first and it's not tied to him playing 2 seasons with the Jets.
Because he's not going to he could miss 6 games this year and that still becomes a first.
And not just that, he could retire and not play the last year of the contract. They've got all this dead cap money. I mean, he could be playing a 1-year, $60 million contract for the Jets, and they gave up a first, potentially a first and a second to have that.
So you don't think Aaron Rodgers has that competitive nature now that he's not with the Packers, that he is not going to go out there in the first year, if he gets close to making the Super Bowl, he's not going to come back and just have a drive?
Well, let's not ignore the fact that there's huge red flags in his game. He had a QBR lower than Russell Wilson last season. Okay,
his receivers though.
Oh, his receivers. You mean the one that lit it up? You mean the ones that if he had been a professional and actually worked with them in the fucking offseason, might have had a better timing with him? I mean, look, use all the excuses you want. They had 2 really good running backs in that backfield. They have a decent offensive line. He looked like shit. And let's not forget, when it goes for quarterbacks, it goes fucking quick, man. It's not like they gradually decline. Look at what Peyton Manning did. He went from being a good quarterback to trash. I mean, we see it time again.
No, he was cooked that last year.
But Peyton Manning had like what, 5 blown vertebrae?
Cooked. It doesn't matter. It's not the physical side. When you lose it as a quarterback, you lose it. It's not like it's a gradual decline. He's only completing 1% less. It is like it's like the light switch. It goes off.
Brian, I'm starting to think you're just not a fan of Aaron Rodgers.
He's a prima donna
bitch.
But
maybe Aaron Rodgers' arm strength was too much for those wide receivers. I mean, maybe if they had someone like a Tua playing in Green Bay or Jordan Love, that those wide receivers will look a lot better. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is wide receivers.
We'll see this year, won't we?
I guess we will. I mean, what are you predicting the Jets to go?
7-9.
I was 9-8. 9-8.
9-8.
I think they'll struggle to win 10 games. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, Lummy.
I know.
That schedule, man. I mean, that schedule, and then obviously the challenge in itself of getting in there, getting accustomed to your teammates, and he's got old boy as OC, right? So
and they brought in all his old teammates.
So it shouldn't be that bad of an adjustment, but I have to imagine there's still going to be a little bit of adjusting to do. Hopefully the New York media doesn't make him cry and piss his pants by week 10.
No, he'll be fine. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers will come out and just completely ball, and the Jets will probably go 9-8.
I think he's going to make
completely ball, and they'll improve 2 games for $60 million.
Yeah. Their schedule's tough.
I think that's what's going to happen, and I think if everything falls into place for the Jets, they're going to win at most 11 games.
They've got Breece Hall coming off of a shredded knee, so we don't know what he's going to look like. Then at wideout, they've got some good young talent at wideout, but it's not like they are the greatest receiving core in the world. I mean, Mecole Hardman could never really gain much traction with the Chiefs. Corey Davis is good, but aside from them, I mean, it's
Brian, you're missing the whole headline here.
Garrett Wilson.
1 hour ago, Favre says Rodgers will do great with the Jets.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, well, if Brett Favre said so, then it must be the truth.
I mean, he's saying it.
Surprise.
So, he's just trying to get more donations.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian, we don't know. That's not. No, listen, Brian.
Hey, so where did he say that? Because
it's right here at ESPN.
I'm sure it's on the Pat McAfee show.
Click it, yeah.
Listen, we are in 100% support of Brett Favre.
Are we, though? Because he's feuding with Pat McAfee.
We are in 100% agreement.
I thought
he likes Brett Favre more.
Bubba's, I mean, he's a Favre faithful.
I mean, look, Pat McAfee.
He's got Reggie White's pants.
Listen, Pat McAfee has only called in 0 times to the Bubba show, and Brett Favre has at least called in 1 time to his last interview he did before this whole Pat McAfee BS that came down. So Brett Favre is awesome, and you know what? Aaron will do great. He text message to ESPN's Ed Werder.
Oh, okay. Good on Ed.
He will handle that transition as well as anyone. He's very smart. He has instinctive. He's instinctive person on and off the field. In other words, you're not gonna catch him by surprise very often. So, Brian, what do you guys say about that?
I say it doesn't matter if he's physically declined. He will not be the same quarterback. I don't know that he's going to be able to get away with what he used to be able to get away with as a quarterback. And time will tell. But time is undefeated. The only person who defeated time was Tom Brady.
That's true.
But I don't see Aaron Rodgers having an MVP caliber season with the Jets.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, playing out of spite, did win MVP 2 years in a row. So I'm not the biggest fan of the guy, and I think it is one hell of an uphill battle. But, I mean, that $60 million contract for potentially a 1-year rental is high risk, high reward for the Jets.
And if anyone, you better win a Super Bowl.
Well,
You've got to win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years,
exactly.
or it was a waste.
Yeah, 1 year, $60 million is pretty steep. But if anyone knows about... If anyone, never mind. I'm not going to say.
Well, maybe he can be a good leader to Zach Wilson.
Yeah. Oh, turn Zach Wilson into a quarterback. He did great with Jordan Love, so that.
Well, you haven't seen yet. You haven't seen what Jordan Love can do.
Well, I guarantee you, whatever Jordan Love does is not because of Aaron fucking Rodgers. Okay, you cannot give him credit for that.
Sure, you can.
I believe Aaron Rodgers has said that he will.
What's funny is that if in a perfect world, Kyle Trask wins the QB job and he plays like,
I will not be a Buccaneer fan.
And get the fuck out of here. If he goes out there and balls out and he is exactly what he looked like at Florida, you know what I mean? And the Bucs are 4-2, you would definitely be on the Trask train.
Wasn't Kyle Trask
was Kyle Trask that good at Florida?
No. I'm saying,
and he had some weapons too, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like Baker Mayfield, who balled out at Texas
No, but let's
A&M.
just say in this hypothetical scenario, Kyle Trask comes out. People are going to be like, oh, well, sitting behind Brady for 2 years.
Well, Brady actually helps and works with people. Rodgers, we don't have that intel that would suggest that he gave a damn about the guy sitting behind him.
No, that's not true. We did see a couple of videos of when he was actually at training camp.
Trask did put up some video game numbers at Florida.
I mean, that last season was pretty damn good.
So no, I mean, honestly, the both seasons were pretty damn good. The last season was very impressive. He's not fleet of foot, so we're not going to get any running yards out of him. We may get occasional goal line touchdown from him, but that's about it. But no, I mean, look, he could do some stuff.
I wouldn't say it's definitely not a strength. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, God, anyone other than Tom Brady is going to be better at getting away from the quarterback.
Well, no, but Brady could just get rid of the ball, which...
That is true.
Yeah.
But, during the preseason when that offensive line would give up immediately, I did see Kyle Trask do some shifting around and running around that, made me feel confident he could maybe get past that first wave of tacklers, but...
I'm excited.
So let's get into the draft talk now. Okay, so we all agree Jets lost the trade. Packers made out like bandits. And
I was going to ask you what you thought about Justin Jefferson getting picked up for his 5th-year option with the Vikings.
That's the biggest no-brainer in the history of the NFL.
Second, because Tristan Wirfs getting picked up by the Bucs on Monday was another no-brainer, especially they move him to the left tackle side where essentially that next season he'll be the 12th highest paid left tackle
That's the plan,
in
baby.
the NFL.
That's the plan. I think, just talking about the left tackle transition for Tristan Wirfs, I think he knows. It's a conversation that's been had. He's talked to the media about how he's taking more reps at left tackle in his offseason program, whatever the fuck. But I think the Bucs are definitely going to look to get a tackle here at 19 while we're talking about the draft.
If you're Wirfs, that's where you want to be, though. That's the offensive line money position. That's the only spot on the offensive line where you can make $25 million a year.
Here's the only hang-up.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's the only hang-up I have, and it's not anything against Tristan Wirfs, because at the end of the day, I think he's athletic enough to do it and do it well. But do you want to have an all-time great right tackle, or do you want to have a potentially just good left tackle? Because what if it doesn't translate?
I think if it doesn't translate, it's because he didn't put in the work. I mean, he's got the physical tools, so I don't have any doubt that Tristan Wirfs will be able to play the left side at an all-pro level by next season.
Correct. Yeah, and I think he
I mean,
will
if
put
you
in the
give him
work.
a season,
That's what I'm saying is by his fifth option year, there's no way he's not playing that at least a Pro Bowl level.
if I'm not mistaken, he also did play a little bit of left tackle for Iowa, but I think it was like a fill-in basis.
I would say that he is no Kenyatta Walker because if you look at Kenyatta Walker, he wasn't known as work ethic, and he tried to play left tackle, and then he was not good at left tackle, and they put him over to right tackle, and he was a okay lineman. But I see Tristan Wirth not being like a Kenyatta Walker.
No,
he'll go over to left tackle and he'll dominate.
That's just who he is. That's physically he's probably the most gifted offensive.
No, I definitely think he can do it.
Offensive lineman in football.
Well, I was gonna with Justin Jefferson. I mean, do you think a wide receiver like him is worth that $20 million?
Yes.
Are you joking?
Yeah, I'm just asking a question.
Do I think Justin Jefferson, the number 1 or number 2 wideout in the entire NFL, is worth $20 million a year?
Yeah, I'm just asking.
Do you think Mike Evans is worth $20 million a year? Because that's what we're fucking paying him.
Is it that much?
I think so.
I thought it was a lot less.
He's got a lot of restructures.
With all the
on this
restructures
current
and
deal.
everything, I think he's.
So I think I don't know if it's this year, but I think next year is like the backloaded year.
Yeah, I thought this year was like $13 million. Maybe I'm wrong.
Because he did restructure this offseason.
No, but they get the signing bonuses and all of that. That's
right.
Well, yeah, you're the salary guy, so I mean, I'm just putting my reliance on you.
Yeah. So Mike Evans, let's see here. He's got his calculated market value is $23 million according to SportRack. His current contract has him making 16.5.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay. So he's
but,
really breaking the bank. I see.
So
really fucking up Tampa's bottom line.
So the question is, at this point, would you pay Justin Jefferson 20? Would you pay Mike Evans 16.5? Would you rather pay Mike Evans 16.5 or Justin Jefferson $20 million?
Justin Jefferson $20 million.
Yeah. Would you rather pay DeAndre Hopkins 27.25 or Justin Jefferson $20 million?
How much is Hopkins making?
27.25.
Oh, Jesus Christ! No way.
Would you rather pay Tyreek Hill $30 million or Justin Jefferson $20 million?
When's the last time you looked at the wide receiver market?
That's what I'm saying.
Lummy?
The market's
Like,
out of fucking control.
Yeah,
Tyreek,
a fifth-year option at $20 million is easy fucking peasy when you got guys that are pushing $30 million.
Tyreek Hill. I mean, he's a superstar.
No. According to you, he's one of the greatest receivers ever to play the game because he has the worst quarterback throwing to him, right, Lummy?
Yes, you are correct, Brian. I'm glad you figured that out finally.
Yeah, it took me a while.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. with I'm sure Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson with Aaron Rodgers.
How much do you think Devontae Adams is making a year? Lummy?
Oh, he's probably making $25 million.
28.
Okay, that was close.
So the Justin Jefferson, you'd balk at $20 million option for the number 1 wideout, number 2 wideout in football?
Technically, I was going to lead up to a different question,
The
Brian,
real
before
problem
I was
for
being
Jefferson
attacked by
is
you
that
two.
Minnesota doesn't have a good number 2 for him.
Well,
you got to have that Batman and Robin on the wideout.
I was going
set.
to bring up that do you think that them signing him to $20 million on a 5th-year option and not trying to extend him right now to a 3-4 year deal before that 5th option was up, do you think that's a mistake on Minnesota?
No, because I think you work on that. Now that you have the option picked up, now you've got the players. You're letting that player know we believe in you. We're going to have you through the 5th year. Let's now work on the numbers that make sense. And if you're the players right now, you next year the cap's going to go up significantly. So these kids that are getting their 5th year option picked up, they're very excited because they're going to get a huge fucking deal.
True. But Jameis was pretty upset when they picked up his 5th-year option.
Well, he was upset because he knew he was trash and he wasn't going to live up to that.
Yeah, he's like, fuck.
Option.
I got to play on one more prove it deal.
Yeah, and that was the problem. That's why he was pissed because there was probably a team out there stupid enough to give him a 3-year deal, and instead of that, he got one mid-level year out of it.
Some other 5th-year option news: Chase Young got his option denied by Washington today, less than an hour ago.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
It is kind of interesting. It's obviously not the end of the world for a guy like that, but I mean, for an organization like Washington, does that surprise you very much?
I think maybe because he was injured all last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so maybe it's the
injured his rookie year too.
Yeah, the fear is that he's just not going to be healthy enough to justify spending that money again. I don't blame him.
Or maybe Washington is not allowed to really sign some big contracts like that during this whole transition.
Yeah, no, but they flat out said we're not going to pick it up. So,
oh, Wow.
That's trouble for them.
Yeah,
It
but
is.
if
Well,
sorry
I mean,
about
there's a
your
lot
luck,
of trouble
Junior.
with the Commanders.
If you're the Vikings, though, what do you have? You have what? You've got 2 years left of Cousins, right?
Yes.
Or no, just 1 year left of him.
Is it? I thought
Yeah.
it was 2. I thought they had they have an option for the second year.
Yeah, he's he's under contract this year, and then he's done.
They don't have a team option for that last year? I thought they did.
Nope, he's done. It's he's I don't think under contract. Yeah, no, this is his last year. They have dead money and all of that. Like, it's going to hurt them if they can't re-sign him. But that's the only thing with Minnesota is what's your future at quarterback here, and what are you going to do with that? Because having Justin Jefferson is great, but that's like having a Ferrari body but no engine.
What pick do they have this year?
Not very high, I don't think.
Minnesota?
Yeah.
Was it 11, 12?
No.
Past that.
I think it's like 16, 17, 18.
It's right around there.
I mean, maybe even higher. They made the playoffs, right? Yeah.
Did they? I don't remember because the
They
Bucks
won the division.
Oh yeah, so they did win.
23 they pick.
Oh shit.
Jesus.
Do you see them trading up to maybe try to get a quarterback?
I think somebody's obviously going to fall out of the top 10, and
Or do
think
they
that's when
trade
a lot
for
of
the-
teams.
or-
I don't know that that's necessarily true, because
All right,
I think
so-
this whole Will Levis talk has taken off over the last 2 weeks so dramatically that I think his stock rises. I think Tennessee is absolutely going to take a quarterback. I think Indianapolis is absolutely going to take a quarterback. You've got Houston
I think
and
Indy's-
Carolina.
But hasn't Tennessee been linked to maybe trying to get Lamar?
I guess, but San Fran was linked to trying to get Lamar this morning as well, so you never really know.
I'll tell you,
But-
if I'm a team right now, I'm not reaching. If I'm Minnesota, I'll take a chance at 23 with Hendon Hooker.
I 100% think that Arizona is going to trade out of 3, though, and someone's going to take a QB right there.
Yeah, I think
it's going to
the
be
four.
Indy.
I think the 4 QBs are gone by definitely no later than pick 11. And
no later than 11.
No
but,
later than
I
11.
mean, when you go, okay, let me go to the top. Let me see 1 through 10, please.
All right, I'm going up. It's a little slow.
Yeah, I can tell.
It's just like you.
Okay, so Carolina,
Hey.
Carolina, Bryce Young.
Yeah, done.
Houston, you're going to disagree with me, but I do not think Houston takes a quarterback because I have nobody has any idea what the fuck they're going to do. And to me, it does
They could
not
go with
seem
Will Anderson. That's
they could.
That's
but
possible.
I think when you are a team like Houston, you're just looking for fucking guys. Like, you're just looking for football players because for the last 4 years, this team has been building from the ground up and they have made zero progress. So it's like one of the things that they have not had is any player to build a team around.
Burn a timeout on that. They had the Deshaun Watson nightmare going
That
on.
is true.
I mean, it wasn't
Sure.
like they could not build a team. They were hamstrung.
And now they got a good amount of draft picks.
Now they have a ton of draft capital, and if you're gonna make the push, you've got to do it. I mean, if I'm them, I'm drafting 1 in the 1st and taking a guy in the 4th or 5th to try and build some depth, see what you got in that room, because
So
right now that room is pathetic.
Who do they take? Stroud?
Yeah, they'd probably take C.J. Stroud there.
I think I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Let's go to 209 real quick. 209, bad pick to pick up.
Fire from the space station.
We'll go to our favorite caller from 443.
It is a great week to get the notification that Lamar Jackson is signing in his extension.
I guess. Too bad it's not going to be this week.
It's going to be this week as well as DeAndre Hopkins.
No, it is not, man. Odell Beckham is not going to be enough to keep him there in the long term.
I think that bridge
That's why
is
we
burnt.
need to get DeAndre Hopkins as well.
I think that bridge is burnt. I don't think Lamar can go back to Baltimore at this point. It's almost
Well, everyone's convinced that he's ready to ride with Odell. I mean, they've been, chumming it up on social media, and that was the big signing for Baltimore. Seemingly was OBJ. Look at this washed-up fucking receiver that we just paid $18 million coming off of a missed season and a torn ACL.
Rhett, they were on FaceTime together.
Oh, they were.
So that means Little Purple's right. He's going to get that text that Lamar's going to the 49ers.
Did you see Lamar's the ultimate troll? Did you see his tweet last night? He
No.
tweeted like the SpongeBob gif of him grinning with no context at all, and it just sent all of Ravens Twitter into a frenzy. And then
And
Josina
you too.
Anderson responded to him on a tweet, and just with emojis. No words are being spoken about what's going on, but I think it's close.
You think it's close that Lamar re-signs with the Ravens?
Yes.
He just takes the deal that they originally offered him.
I mean, now he realizes compared to Jalen Hurts' deal, he sees that what we offered him really wasn't far off at all from what is, the quarterback market.
Well, rumor has it that the San Francisco 49ers might be interested in trading Trey Lance and this year's third-round pick and the first-rounder in 2024 and 2025 for Lamar Jackson.
I did see that as well.
So would you rather have that or Lamar Jackson? And Brian, what do you think of that trade in Reds?
I would take that trade in a heartbeat. That's 2 firsts and a former number one who's, just throw him out there, see if you can get anything out of him coming off his injured year. And if not, you've got next year to take another one.
Yeah.
And it'd be great to have a disgruntled OBJ in the locker room, too. That's going to help things out a lot.
Yeah, that's good for ratings.
Maybe they'll bring in A.J. McCarron, Brian.
I'm not a huge fan of the OBJ signing, but if that's what Lamar wanted and that's what's going to make him sign, then
He's
so
not.
be it.
He's not signing.
Was that what he wanted, though? Is that what he said? Like,
all of the rumors have said that he said he wanted OBJ or DeAndre Hopkins or both. Like, that's what – but you can never know what is actually being said. Like, there's been so much misinformation about this whole fucking situation.
Wouldn't Lamar then have signed a little after OBJ so that the Ravens would have a good chance of maybe knowing what they're going to have to draft? Or is he just that selfish and doesn't care about the team?
I mean, I don't talk to Lamar. I don't know where his mind is. I don't know. I don't know where Eric DeCosta's mind is either. I just wish, I went on for, weeks just I don't really care about it. But now I feel like that the draft is close. It is either going to be a big trade like you mentioned with San Francisco, or he's going to sign.
Well, hopefully we'll see him playing for the 49ers.
Saturday. I think it happens by Saturday, and also go Orioles. It's pretty surprising that the Orioles and the Rays are at the top of the division.
So you're saying that they're going to go through almost the whole draft and not have Lamar signed?
I'm saying it will happen by Saturday. I think it'll happen today or tomorrow, but I think definitely he will be signed by Saturday.
Do any of you guys think that he will be signed by Saturday with the Ravens?
I think if you're saying he's going to get signed this week, if he's not signed by Wednesday night, I would not rule out the possibility of him getting dealt on the night of the draft.
I think that they're going to go back to him with the same offer, that he's too prideful to sign it, and that he's not going to take the deal. I don't see them getting Hopkins. I don't know how they'd work the deal under their cap. They've got $4 million in space.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm looking for guys that they could restructure, and I don't
thought we
see
were.
any.
So, from what I heard, we were going to get rid of, or what I saw, not heard. We were going to get rid of Patrick Queen and somebody else. I forget who the other person was.
Yeah, but I don't know that you can free up the. I mean, I guess if you traded for Hopkins and re-signed him and restructured, immediately, maybe there's something there. But I don't know that you guys would be able to free up $20 million at this point. $28 million or whatever Hopkins is making. $28 million.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I guess we will find out. I mean, I think Lamar re-signing without DeAndre is more likely than getting both.
I don't
DeAndre.
think. Yeah, I think Lamar would rather be traded at this point, quite honestly, if there is a trade partner, and he's going to make that clear to the team. That and I wouldn't. San Francisco, it's an interesting fit for him.
Yeah, but I mean, why do you think San Francisco is going to stray away from Brock Purdy after what he just did?
Yeah.
Do you think they're just going to put him right back on the bench?
Yeah, he's not really owed anything. I mean,
they don't. Yeah, it's a low risk move for them. They still have him for 3 more years. They put him right back on the bench where he was. He's a 7th round draft pick. You don't owe him money. You don't owe him anything.
And it's similar to the Cowboys guy. What's the Cowboys guy? He came out firing.
Cooper
Rush. And everyone thought he was going to leave right after the year, and he went right back. So,
all righty. Well, have a good rest of your show. I'm saying by Saturday, so we'll see.
We'll see. We'll take that bet.
We'll talk to you next week.
Hey, real quick, I know we'll definitely break down the draft, but I remembered now, Brian, Red, you can obviously pipe in, but gambling, the bet, the player suspended, and the big name with the Lions, was it Jamal, who used to play for the Lions last year?
Jamal Williams?
Yeah.
The running back?
No,
That
but
they didn't resign?
that's what I'm saying. Who used to be with the Lions?
Yeah. Who did he sign with?
Saints.
The Saints.
The Saints.
Now, what do you think of that whole being suspended the whole year?
Jamal Williams got suspended the whole year?
The gambling. There was like 4 or 5 players.
The NFL has to do it. They have
But
to
it was
do
college,
it.
though.
They have to do it.
You know what's
they
funny?
have no choice
that-
because of the emergence of sports betting and the partnerships and the money that's tied to it and their presence in Las Vegas. They don't have a choice now. They have to
especially
stop
when
it
you
now.
already fucking did it to Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, but
You
he was
would
betting on. He was
kinda
betting on.
think-
But he was betting on NFL games.
Yeah, it doesn't matter
Or-
now. It's
I
got to
know,
be
but-
a zero tolerance while you're in the league or in college or in the league. You cannot be sports betting, and I agree with it. You cannot have that enter your game. It becomes a nightmare. It becomes a nightmare. It's a quick way to lose fans. It's a quick way to lose revenue. It's a quick way to get the feds involved and look into your league and your books and everything else that's going on. You have to have a zero tolerance policy.
I agree.
That's going to hurt
Just
a lot
because of the
It will
scale,
hurt-
the
it'll-
amount of players that are in there, the amount of people, maybe in the front office, on the coaching staff who hear about that shit and are like, oh, well, you know.
Yeah, you just can't. You cannot have it happening.
That's going to really
my
hurt the
buddy
Saints.
Jeremy placed a bet this weekend that we would run the ball over 20 times.
Yeah, but I'm saying is that, for college, it seems like it would be a little different, but I totally understand. I mean, but that definitely will hurt the Saints running backs.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I hate the Saints. Fuck that team.
No, 100%. Alvin
So when
Kamara,
are they going to throw Alvin Kamara in jail?
they're not. He pleaded not guilty.
Oh, I know that. But I'm saying
well,
he's gonna play this year.
his trial's not until the end of next year.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I
It just
mean,
seems how
if
to
he
keep
ever
getting delayed.
fucking- yeah. I mean, he was supposed to be suspended what felt like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, the NFL doesn't care too much about this one.
They're
It's
trying-
It's him
they're-
hitting another dude in
Whoa.
Vegas.
Yeah,
if
not
he
just-
beat a
hold on.
woman up like that.
Hold on, but
No,
not
it'd be
just hitting.
done.
Not just hitting
It'd
them.
be
I
just
mean,
3 games and
those
Yeah.
guys beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a lawyer. I mean, what would you be doing?
What do you mean? What would I be doing?
Like-
Suing him like that guy's doing.
Is that case done?
I mean, probably not. It'll ultimately settle. It
Yeah,
probably
it'll
won't settle until the criminal stuff is situated.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. As a lawyer, wouldn't you be kind of pushing to get that, that other court case kind of done so you can get your guy $10 million?
Well, they're kind of tied together. You're going to take care of both at once if you're him.
So the other guys just kind of got to wait around for a
Yeah.
little bit?
Yeah.
if you knew that you were going to settle for $10 million in damages, let's say after taxes and lawyer fees and all that shit, you get a clean 6.5. If you know for $6.5 million,
He wouldn't be clearing
would you
six
take?
and a half there, but yeah.
Would you take an ass whooping like that?
No.
Brian, I don't want you to tell us your fees, but on an average lawyer.
No, I mean, a contingency fee attorney
Okay.
typically charges a third in pre-suit, 40% in litigation. Now, in Florida, that is staggered. So it's 40% of the first million, 30% of the second million, and then 20% of every million thereafter. So, but when you're talking about taxes and everything, if it was a clean $10 million settlement, he's probably looking at clearing $5 million. He's got medical bills, he's got that and the taxes and all of that, and the attorney's fees and costs. He's gonna easily have $2 to $2.5 million of that's going to be attorney's fees. So that's going to take him down to 7.5. So he's probably going to clear 5 at that
okay.
level.
Yeah, I totally got it. So, you as a lawyer would probably clear, if you were his representative, you'd probably bring home $2.5 million.
2.5, yeah. Depending
Before taxes,
depending
right?
on the state and everything, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I still have to pay taxes on the money I earn, yeah.
Well, no, I just wasn't sure if you were, if you got it, if you
Well,
would get $2
actually,
million after
and let me
taxes.
back this up because I just totally screwed this up because it is personal injury settlements are not subject to federal income tax.
Well, there you go.
So he would there would be no taxes on that unless a large portion of what he was alleging was past lost wages. Lost wages rewards are subject to taxation if they're awarded to cover the amount of the lost wages that he incurred.
And Mike, and we can break down the draft now, but Mike Conley, I made a good point. People get more suspension time for DraftKings and betting than hitting women or hitting people.
Yeah, I
Or
mean
killing people.
It's not
A perfect
right,
system.
but the league cannot fuck around with betting. Like they're showing these players it's zero tolerance.
Just talk to Pete Rose. 813-90-BUBBA, 813-90-BUBBA. We can break down the draft. Brian, are you ready, Rhett? Are you ready, Brian?
Born ready.
Yeah.
Now, number one, obviously, we have the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, and we already know who they're taking.
The struggle. How do you know there's not, Tom from Nebraska that is listening and didn't know that the Carolina Panthers were number one, Brian?
No, I'm saying we know who they're taking.
Are
There's
you
very little doubt at this point.
Bryce Young?
Yes.
Gotta be.
See, I think it's consensus at this point.
Well, then we'll just move on from Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers because you don't see any chance that obviously they traded up for that. So number two, the Houston Texans.
They're a wild card in all of this.
Now this site right here, CBS Sports, they have Will Levis being drafted by the Texans.
And it's very possible. The news on Will Levis has been hot and heavy the last 2 weeks. His draft stock has risen to the point where I had originally thought he'd be mid-first round, and I don't think there's going to be one of the top 4 quarterbacks left after pick 10 or 11 at the latest. But if I'm Texans, and I know that the Titans want somebody, and I know that the Colts want somebody, I've got the ability to trade my pick to Tennessee and move. If I'm not taking a quarterback and I'm the Texans, I'm moving the fuck back.
Well, that's the same exact mindset I was thinking of with Arizona. But that's why I feel so much more confident that Arizona is going to trade back out of that number 3 pick.
But not they may not have a partner if the Texans trade back.
That's true.
That's my point. And I agree with you that Arizona has made it very publicly clear they're fine they want draft capital. But if I'm the Texans and I'm not going to take one of those quarterbacks, then I've got Tennessee sitting there, and I know that that Indy wants it too. I now have two teams that are going to bid and fight for my pick, and I'm going to trade back, and I'm going to get a first this year and a first next year for moving back 2 spots.
Yeah.
For moving back 2 spots with Indy, and then if it's Tennessee, I'm getting a first this year, first next year, and a second at some point. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And they're idiots not to do it. So you go ahead and take one of the great offensive linemen. There's 3 can't-miss offensive linemen in this. You're going to get them, especially with the quarterback run, you're going to get them. And if not, you have so many needs on the Texans, you can't miss. Take the best guy available. And you'll now have 2 or 3 of them that you get to take this year.
Well, so either let's say Houston does stick to it. I mean, if they drafted Will Levis, you think that's a good pick for them?
I think it's. I don't know that there's a market for competition on Levis if they still wanted to trade back. If the Colts have their guy, and everybody seems to think it's Stroud for them. Or I've heard Richardson's name too, though.
Oh, this one has Stroud going to Indy at 4 because the Arizona Cardinals would stick with Tyree. Tyree Wilson.
I don't want to get too far ahead, but where does it have Richardson going?
It has him going to the Titans at number 8.
So the Titans trade up to 8 with the Falcons?
Yes.
Are you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, mock trade from the Falcons right there.
Yeah, I don't see Arizona picking at number 3. I don't see that happening.
So you think that
if the Houston Texans don't trade back, which they very well may not. If you're not taking a quarterback, I don't know why you wouldn't try to. But if they don't trade back, I don't see how Arizona doesn't trade back because they're in a full rebuild right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean you're moving on from everybody. Buda Baker just requested a trade. J.J. Watt retired. DeAndre Hopkins is disgruntled. He doesn't want to be there.
Well, I think that's going to be part of it, too. It is a Hopkins trade built in with possibly trade. I mean, they can get an ass ton of draft capital out of this.
That was their all-in window for the core that they have now, was going and getting fucking J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, and those guys.
Yeah, and it failed.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to 4 with the Colts. Let's say it all stays the same. The Colts getting Stroud.
Yeah.
You see that one?
I mean,
or do you see him getting a different quarterback?
No, I don't see that because I see 2 or 3 trading, and I see somebody moving, and it may be the Colts moving up, but I don't see C.J. Stroud getting picked at number 4 by the Colts. I don't see the Colts if the Colts want Stroud.
If the Colts want a quarterback, they're not going to sit there and wait for him at 4.
I will say this: they will if they want Stroud or Richardson. If they're fine with taking either of those guys, then they can sit.
But if they have one,
they'll get one of those.
But what if they're okay with, even at the end of the day, if they look at it and they just wait? Okay, well, we can get Will.
Yeah, well, but then
that's what I'm saying.
They're picking 4. There's 4 quarterbacks that everybody thinks are legitimate quarterbacks, then you just sit. If you're the Colts and you believe that any of that you can win with any of them, then why waste future draft capital? And you're going to get a quarterback that you like. You don't know that any of them is going to be better than the other one. I mean, especially with Richardson.
I mean,
talk about a fucking scratch-off ticket, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because you already have a stud in Indianapolis, correct?
They have the quarterback of the future there.
Exactly.
And Minshew Mania will take over at some
Minshew
point.
Mania is what, 20? How old is he? 25, 26?
He's 25.
25, yeah.
Running wild.
No, 26 now. 26.
Yeah,
whatever
I mean,
he is.
he still has four or five good years.
Hendon Hooker's 25 years old.
4 or 5, Lummy.
Yeah, 4 or 5 good years.
No,
4 or 5 good years.
Gardner Minshew's got
From a
7-8
quarterback.
years left in him.
Come on, buddy.
Well, Brian, we should have hired you as the GM for the Buccaneers.
I would absolutely have taken Minshew over Baker, and I've made that very clear.
Yeah.
Now, number 5, obviously it's the Seattle Seahawks that they got from the Denver Broncos, which that is absolutely killing the Broncos, but they're taking Jalen Carter.
Yeah, I don't see him going that high.
Really?
I think
a lot of that off the field shit's going to hurt him.
I think he falls back most likely to Detroit, or Vegas is stupid enough to take him.
Well, Vegas is stupid enough to take anyone with a crime.
But he definitely won't make it past the Falcons.
Vegas is starving for a first-round pick that just doesn't end up incarcerated at this point. But, I mean...
That's true, but hold on. But Seattle, I mean, the site right here says, it would create a new Legion of Boom.
I could see Seattle, quite honestly, taking Anthony Richardson. When you've got Geno Smith and you've got a gap year for Richardson who needs one, you don't need to start. You would not start him right away. I could absolutely see the Seahawks taking Richardson with number 5.
The thing with Jalen Carter, too, is it's kind of a disappointment that he's going to fall because he's probably the best prospect in the draft. I mean, he's top 3.
Yeah.
He's got it. It's like him,
I think he's
Bijan
consensus
Robinson.
number 1. No.
No, he is. I
don't think there's anybody who disagrees that Jalen Carter is a force.
I wouldn't.
He is the best player in the draft. No, hold on. Did we, Brian? Did we look? Where's Jalen Carter from? Is he from Florida? Because we may be able to change Red's opinion on that one.
Well, he played for Georgia, though, right?
Yes, but
Change my opinion on what? I just said he's the best.
He just said he's the best.
Oh, I thought you said you disagree that he is the best player.
No,
I said I would
with
agree.
him slipping so far.
Oh, okay.
And I agree with him on that. If any team taking him after,
he's from Florida, by the way.
Any team taking him after number 5 is getting an absolute steal.
Yeah, okay, no, I sorry, but Red, I misheard. I thought you said that you disagree with him.
I think he's the best in the draft. Yeah,
okay.
I think the 2 guys that are just the best athletes in this draft are him and Bijan Robinson.
And it's not particularly close. I mean, I think Will Anderson Jr. he'll do fine and he'll be a great player. All the quarterbacks, none of them are sure things. None of those quarterbacks are like, oh, he's definitely gonna, perform at the NFL level. But with these edge rushers, they're going to perform. Mm-hmm. You know that they're going to perform as long as they stay healthy and stay free.
So let's just say Seattle does take Anthony Richardson, right? Let's just hypothetically go with what you're saying.
Yeah.
That you would think. So that would leave. I mean, do you see? The Lions would jump all over Jalen Carter, right? Do you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. You're picking him
absolutely.
At 6.
Just making sure, because obviously they have at number 6. They have.
And remember, the Detroit Lions also have number 18 sitting there for them.
Correct.
So they've got the ability to address 2 major areas of need on a team that's not too far away from winning.
Really not. I mean, very close to being a playoff team.
No, I mean that division right now is probably going to be between them and the Vikings.
Yeah.
Depends on what Kirk Cousins done last year.
Or how good Jordan Love turns out to be.
Sure. Yeah, Jordan Love, MVP of the XFL next year. Will Anderson Jr., so you're with the Lions, and then
he could go as high as number 2, quite honestly, to the Texans.
Yeah, he seems like a player that him, one of the other edge rushers. I mean, he seems like a player that Houston could definitely look at.
He won't fall past where they have him there. 6, I think, is the outer edge of where Will Anderson Jr. will go.
Well, this is actually said this might be the easiest pick ever for the Lions, which is true because I mean I remember in the 2000s the draft. Who was their GM then? He was a football player, and he always drafted wide receivers. You guys know. He was also an announcer for NBC, Fox, CBS. One of those.
Jim Nantz?
No,
I forget who
Mike
it was.
something maybe.
Yeah,
Mike Hawk.
Yeah, I mean I remember those drafts. Joey Harrington, not Calvin Johnson, Mike Williams, all those. So the Lions definitely need some help there. with their edge rusher or their defense. Matt Millen, yeah, thank you.
Well, they need to improve on the defensive side of the football. They could go corner there. They could go edge rusher. But if Anderson or Carter are available there, they will be suiting up as Detroit Lions. 100%.
I would love to hear what the coach or the Lions would have to say about Anderson.
Yeah, the thing about both of these players is they're just fucking dogs. And that's what we want in Detroit. We want to build this defense to be one of the most feared in the league. We're coming for the North this year, and it's going to start with these guys in the fucking trenches. And what we need most right now is just more reinforcements, just more guys to fucking get after the quarterback and start physically assaulting people out there.
I could totally see him saying that. Thank you, Rhett. Or Coach, whatever your name is.
Yeah, you got
Campbell. Dan Campbell.
Yeah,
Come
Dan
on,
Campbell,
man.
AC/DC.
All right, let's keep
Christian,
it.
I'm going,
City,
Brian. Brian, calm down. Jeez.
Well, we got limited time,
No,
man.
we don't. Christian Gonzalez, what do you got to leave at 11?
I'm at 1:15. My guy came in early for you, and even though you didn't start early.
Yeah, he came in early for you, Lummy. He fucking showed up this week.
Yes, I'm sorry that
Consider yourself lucky.
sorry that me and Macho Man were working on a project that Bubba said that was number one important. Christian Gonzalez, the Raiders, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders,
It seems like they always go after some fucking position like that.
Yeah, like a corner.
honestly, I could see them taking Bijan Robinson.
Really?
They need help. They need help everywhere.
Knowing the Raiders, knowing them,
Taking a running back in the top 10.
Absolutely.
Did they just re-sign Josh Jacobs?
To what, a 2-year deal?
Was it?
I don't know. Did they?
I thought
no,
they did.
Jacobs is in his last year.
Oh, they didn't.
They didn't re-sign
Oh, that's right.
him,
That's right. They just picked up his 5th-year option.
Which is why I think
and he was pissed off.
Bijan Robinson could be the play for them there.
Oh, okay.
And you theoretically could trade Josh Jacobs, who would be an absolute steal at $10 million for a team looking for 1 year out of a good running back,
like the Bucks. By the way,
so that I'm just throwing it out there, knowing the Raiders, that is a possibility that Bijan Robinson goes as high as number 8 to them or whatever they are, 7.
They are number
7.
Yes.
Yeah.
732. You got to be very quickly. Brian is on a time schedule, so let's go. Let's make it quick.
Yeah, I've got another job, dude.
Calm down, Brian. Joke's called. Hey, what's up, Alan?
What's up, Alan?
Alan, you're on the clock.
Quick question. What do you guys make of this? I know you're talking about Will Levis. So Will Levis, his odds to go first overall. Did you see that yesterday they went from plus 5,000 to plus 500?
I think that's just Vegas and the NFL working together to create intrigue over that first pick.
Yeah, exactly, because everyone knows what's going on.
All right,
unless Carolina trades back a spot or 2. Could you imagine them trading back to 4 and getting 2 more firsts?
I mean, that's pretty smart, but
that would be pretty funny.
Oh man,
that would be pretty funny. That'd probably be the best offseason of all time. For them.
Yeah. Because they already fleeced the Bears. I mean, got fleeced by the Bears, but I don't know.
Brian,
man.
I think you watched the draft movie with Kevin Costner a little too much because that's pretty much what he did.
Yeah.
He did. He got fleeced by the Seahawks.
Jacksonville, dude. The Jacksonville GM.
He was like a pussy.
Are you
blah blah.
Fucking kidding me?
All right.
All right. Stick on the Brian. But listen, we can talk about that at a time when Brian's not here. Right? Aaron Richardson.
Anthony Richardson.
If the Titans trade up to the Falcons, because I don't see them taking a quarterback. Anthony Richardson going to the Titans if they do trade up.
Yeah. If
do
I'm
you
the
see
Falcons,
that happening?
I think the Falcons are going to target a corner. Definitely defensive side of the ball, and I think the Falcons could trade back. I don't know if the Titans are still picking there, if the Texans maybe do a trade with them, but I absolutely see Tennessee taking a quarterback this draft.
Now the Bears. This one has the Bears sitting at 9, picking an offensive lineman.
You can't go wrong here, right?
Yeah, Paris Johnson, Ohio State.
Paris Johnson. You have 3 can't miss. You have the Skowronek kid. You got Paris Johnson, and you've got the Pete Skowronek, Paris Johnson,
Darnell
and then,
Wright,
Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
Those are your 3 cannot miss offensive tackles. I'm very excited if that happened there. That would be amazing what they had up there.
Yeah.
And so if you're the Bears, you've got to protect Justin Fields, and it makes sense for them.
Yeah, no, 100%. If you're gonna get him help one way or the other, it's more than likely.
So you're looking at the Bears, or you're going to take an offensive line maybe 2?
They have to. I mean, if they take a wide receiver, they're going to pay for it. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
You don't need a wide receiver with Justin Fields.
You really
don't need a field stretcher. He's the field stretcher.
You need to get him some help.
You need a possession receiver, a good possession receiver.
Which they could probably get in the second, right? Second or third.
Getting his ass whooped.
Now the Eagles, they have picking an edge rusher. Do you see? You see the Eagles needing some defensive edge help there?
Man, they're a pretty complete team.
Yeah, I mean they're a team that's stacked and gets more stacked here.
Again, if Bijan's available.
If Bijan's available at 10, I got good reason to believe that the Eagles would say fuck it, because they are a team that has a roster that's just, fuck it, we'll take best player available.
Yeah, they're in a position where they get to take, BPA, which is awesome. That's where you want to be, BPA.
You don't see them trading maybe down for a team that maybe want to trade up?
There could be a ton of trades. I mean, it's very hard to predict trades. It's easier to predict trade spots.
Yes.
But that's a spot that they could trade out of.
Yeah, they could trade out of, get down, maybe get another first, a low first, and maybe another second, and just keep loading up.
Yeah.
Because, that'd be perfect. So then they have, let's see, if Tennessee, then Atlanta, they're going to take a cornerback. Atlanta's made a lot of offseason moves. I mean, do you see them? They need a cornerback. They're taking a quarterback and corner, and I think it will be Witherspoon. So I whether it's at 8 or 11, I see them taking him. So if they can trade back with Tennessee or find anybody to trade back to and still get a top flight corner, they'll be in good shape. Now, the Houston and their second pick in the first round, if they do obviously take a quarterback, Jackson Smith.
Careful.
Jigba. Do you see them taking a wide receiver with that? Or do you think they would shore up and maybe try to get an offensive lineman? Or do you think that Texans want to go sexy?
BPA, but they absolutely need another receiver. They have Nico Collins, and that's about it now. Brandon Cooks, where did he go?
He went to
he's gone,
Tennessee?
Right? Yeah. So at this point, they've got to take best available.
Now the Jets, obviously coming in with Aaron Rodgers, they have them projected to take Broderick Jones.
Yeah, that's a great pick.
Yeah, you can't miss.
Offensive line, no matter what.
Those three guys, whether it's Jones, Witherspoon, not Witherspoon. What's the first one who was off? Paris Johnson or Pete Skoranek. You're not going to miss on those three O linemen.
Well, you are disagreeing then, because the next pick is the Patriots with Bill Belichick, the genius as they call him. They will be picking Darnell Wright, an offensive lineman out of Tennessee.
That's who I think the Bucs ultimately end up with at 19.
Because I don't think Peter Skoronski's available at 15 for the Bucs.
But and that's obviously a trade that they make with Green Bay.
Yep.
In this mock draft, move up to 15, get Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern, the big O tackle.
Do you see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Because who gives a shit about the Patriots? Do you see anyone? Do you see the Bucs making any draft trades?
Unless the Buccaneers are trading up to pick a quarterback.
No.
I do not see them trade. I do not see them doing this.
You don't see them trading up for an offensive lineman?
No way. No way in hell.
Just let the board fall to you at 19. There's going to be guys
You have other positional needs. So it's not like you're set everywhere on the field.
Yeah, you can get a tackle in the second and third round. Yeah, this tackle class is
if the Bucs do that, they're fucking morons.
But Brian, you did say the three are,
they're can't miss guys, but you don't give up other draft capital. I mean, it's not like they're trading up and not losing anything. You're losing something by trading up.
And the Bucs are already coming out of this offseason by the skin of their teeth. I mean, they're a team that had a championship window. This is the year that they're paying for it. So to give up more future capital, to mortgage more of your future when you're already paying what you can, it's just not very sensical. So I think they're going to sit there and wait at 19.
Yeah, they sit and wait.
Let you fucking see one of those top 4 quarterbacks fall out of the top 10. I think you're going to be seeing a lot of people call whoever has pick number 11.
All 4 could be gone by number 5. I mean, that's how crazy this year might be. And I think there's going to be a lot of trades in the top 10. But I don't see the Bucs trading up to get an O tackle.
Do you see them trading down?
It would again depend. They have too much need. You would have to get more. You would have to get more draft capital than your positional change would justify. Like, you have to be clearly winning that deal from a mathematical standpoint. You know how they say, okay, if you move down from 17 to 19, it's worth this many points, right? If you're going to do something like that, if you're the Bucs, move down from 19 to say 24, you better be getting a second round pick to go along with that to make up for it, because you're losing in that 5 spots.
Yeah, or at least a third, at least a high third.
And I will say, giving Bucks GM Jason Light a little bit of credit here, he has done pretty damn good with his day 2 picks.
He's done great with his picks since his first draft.
2019. If you take a look at that 2019 draft class, there is not a single name on there that is not still playing in the NFL.
Last year, all first 6-round picks played in double-digit games.
Yes.
I've never seen that for a team that wasn't a losing football team. That is insanity. O'Keefe in the 6th round, maybe the steal of the draft. I mean, you look at what the Bucs have done from a draft perspective the last 3 seasons. I have no doubt that they're going to make the right decisions.
I think if you are the Bucs, though, and you're looking to trade back, let's say you can get rid of your first and wind up with 4 picks over the first 3 rounds instead of 3. I think they do come out winners in that
with
situation
them needing
because you can get when you have an abundance of mid-round picks, you can get more day 1 contributors.
Oh, yeah,
and that's what the Bucs fucking need right now.
They need the
day 1 contributors,
and that's what
they
the
need
Bucs
the flexibility to let guys walk.
Yeah, and that's why I think like what Red's saying is you trade back and you get those 2nd, 3rd, 4th round picks that Jason Light is good at getting because they need so many interior linemen. They need they need so many. Just players, not superstars.
We need a running back. We need a wide receiver here in a minute. I'm not sold that Russell Gage and Mike Evans are going to hold up past this year. We need corner help. We need a safety. We need offensive line. We need an O tackle. We need a linebacker. I mean, there's the
there
Bucs
are holes everywhere.
There are holes everywhere, which is why you don't trade up because you don't need to do it to fill your holes.
And which is why you trade back. You get more mid-round picks. You get more day 1 contributors.
And I think Jason Light knows that, and I think Jason Light, I think he will stand.
But that's why whoever came up with this is not the brightest.
No,
in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's...
whoever did this mock draft that you're looking at.
So who does Green Bay end up taking at 19 with that pick?
Tight end, right? There's 2 tight ends. They're going to take one of them.
Well, Commanders, they have Joey Porter coming out of Penn State. The Steelers, Deontay Banks, cornerback.
Bijan falls to 18.
To the Chargers.
Well, what's interesting is they have them trading up with Detroit, right, to get to that because you have a disgruntled Austin Eckler in San Diego who wants out. I don't see any scenario now where Bijan falls to the Bucs at 19. I was hopeful that he might because he is a top 3 talent. Even though the position's value is
if he's there at 19, you cannot pick anyone else.
I don't think so. I don't think you can because he's that good. He's going to make your quarterback better.
I think kind of what Brian was saying. I think that the Raiders pick him because they like that sexy pick.
Well,
and then they can get rid of Josh
Jacobs.
Trade
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, then they get more picks with Josh Jacobs.
If you can get a 2nd rounder for a year of Josh Jacobs, or even a 3rd rounder, and have Bijan if you're the Raiders, I don't know. That's a terrible move.
Hey, they start allocating that money now. Maybe by the end of the year they'll have enough to fire Josh McDaniels this time.
Or he might be good. Yeah, this has the Packers picking Quentin Johnston from TCU.
I mean, I guess that's possible. Everything I've heard is on the Packers is they're really high on that tight end. I mean, his name's eluding me right now, but
they don't even have a tight end in this 1st round. Where's he coming out of?
Hold on one second.
Michael Mayer.
Yeah,
Michael Mayer from Notre Dame.
Yep. And Notre Dame is tight end university, aren't
it?
It
is now after Miami.
Yeah, so
lost it.
That's who I've heard linked to the Packers quite often.
Who do you think will probably get the let's say in the first day? Will there be any surprises?
I think that all 4 quarterbacks are gone in the first 5 picks. That's going to be my big prediction.
And what are between you two? What are the 4 teams that get the quarterbacks? Doesn't matter who it is, but what 4 teams will end up with a quarterback?
Bryce to Carolina, Indy. I guess Houston. Show me that top 5 again.
In order for the 5 to go, it's Carolina, Houston, Indy, Seattle.
I don't know if Seattle. Like I know that Geno Smith is obviously not a permanent conclusion.
What was his
3-year
contract?
deal.
Yeah, 3-year.
3-year deal. A fucking 1-year deal. You know what I mean? Like.
Would you roll the dice on Anthony Richardson?
No.
Knowing it physically and seeing the flashes that you've seen from him and knowing what he is capable of doing in this new age NFL.
No, I wouldn't.
Let me ask you a minute.
Because I've come on this show before. I came on this show like 2-3 months ago. And I was like, in my opinion, I think Anthony Richardson is going to be the quarterback to fall on draft night.
Yes.
And I still believe that.
Let me ask you a minute, Brian. has anyone had a report, or maybe Rhett knows too? Is there any reports on like Anthony Richards like work outside of the game, like film, just overall?
Well, they had the S2 comprehension test score come out, and I think maybe part of the reason the narrative shifted from Stroud to Bryce Young for Carolina was because Stroud did like terrible. He got like 18th percentile.
But what did Richardson get?
Oh, he excelled.
Richardson
got like
Earns praise. Absolutely. He had a really high score.
Mm-hmm.
He's the most physical. I mean, here's the thing, and this is, again, I'm not advocating this. If I'm a GM, I have a hard time doing this. But this guy has the tools to potentially be a generational quarterback. I mean, physically, he is there. He just doesn't have the experience yet.
What about the
he
mind?
doesn't have the maturity.
But
the mind is there.
That's
the
what I
S2
worry
cognitive
about.
test score where he excelled at it.
Yeah, but his maturity level could definitely take over.
I mean, that's
Bryce
going to
Young
hinder
scored
you.
the highest, and Richardson, I think, was second.
He was in like the 70th percentile.
Knocked
or
it
some
out of the
shit
park
like that.
is what one league source said.
There wasn't Baker, not Baker, who was it? Johnny Manziel. Didn't he have a high fucking score too? But then his partying and everything just took over
But
because the
Johnny
maturity wasn't there?
doesn't have the physical tools that Anthony Richardson has.
No, I
mean,
know, but
we're
I'm just
talking-
saying, like the smartness. I'm saying, like the talent.
Yeah, but
that he had.
But okay, so that's a question on these quarterbacks: is do they have it between the ears, right?
Yeah.
Well, Richardson, the test scores suggest he does, but do they have it physically? Well, everything measurable about him says that he does, and probably more so than any other quarterback in this draft. What he doesn't have is the experience, and he didn't play on a good team, and he played through two different coaching staffs, right? So. Again, I'm not saying if I'm Seattle that I would jump at taking him at number 5, but I'd consider it strongly.
Well,
especially if the other 3 quarterbacks went off the board.
let's talk about who had the tools. Ryan Leaf. He got a Wonderlic test of 27, which is
the
pretty
Wonderlic
good.
is different than the S2 comprehension deal.
The S2 cognitive test is a lot different.
They didn't take those back in the day, did they?
No.
No,
But the Wonderlic test still was something that, was judging at the time. And obviously Ryan Leaf had the physical talent, and obviously he had the smarts, but he didn't have the fucking between the ears.
Wonderlic is more. It's a flawed test for NFL quarterbacks because it's more like overall intelligence. Where the S2 cognition test, it scores instinctive learning, decision complexity, distraction control, and improvisation. So it is more targeted to the types of intelligence, because there are different types of intelligence, the types of intelligence that are more important to the quarterback position. So the Wonderlic is more book smart.
Ability to retain information is a big one.
Like decision making, improvisation. I have not seen the test, but from what I've heard about it, it is tailored to meet the intellectual needs for a modern NFL quarterback. Reading a defense quickly, like that sort of thing, and having the ability on the fly to make adjustments. This test is probably going to be a better long-term gauge and barometer of quarterback skill than the Wonderlic.
But when you see with Anthony Richardson, when you would watch him with the Gators, and I know it was college and things like that, but I mean, if he was obviously pushed in to be a starter, I mean, obviously you hope that a team would maybe put him as the backup and learn, but
that's what he gets to do in Seattle. That's why I'm saying that is the
if they draft Richardson in the top 10, like Geno is still your week 1 starter, 100%.
100%. You give him an entire year or maybe even 2.
Well, but a lot of these guys look like they're not going to be starting week 1. I mean, look at Carolina; they got the ginger, right? They're going to probably start Andy Dalton.
No.
Number 1 overall, you start Bryce.
Bryce will start from day 1. 100%. If Houston takes a quarterback, he starts from day 1. 100%.
Well, I mean, Houston, I would.
Indy takes a quarterback, he's starting from day 1. 100%.
Your boys not. You don't think they?
No, they're not going to give Gardner Minshew a fair shake at that job.
The only quarterback that I would take in the first round and not start immediately is Anthony Richardson. And I think that the 1 year of learning and being coached properly and coached up is all it's going to take for him to potentially be the steal of this draft.
So realistically, those teams. I mean, and I'm sure they know that no matter what they do, they have to not let him start, even if he goes to, let's say, number 2, Houston.
Well, Houston won't take Richardson. I don't think so. I don't see a scenario where they do. They have too many that you can't. That's why Richardson. I agree with Rhett that Richardson is the most likely to fall. 100%. I think Levis will get selected potentially before Richardson. Almost. I think put like 90% confidence on that. I mean, I think Richardson will be the 4th of those 4 quarterbacks to be drafted.
Hey, maybe
because he's got to fall into the right scenario.
You don't think the Colts
situation.
though? Because I know Jim, the president, I don't know. Irsay, yes.
I think it's honestly just going to depend on the amount of cocaine Jim has in his system.
But hold on. But think about it.
See how fucking crazy he's feeling at the draft party?
But like Brian say, I mean, look, I know that we're all marks for Gardner Minshew, but I mean, realistically, he could have another year where he sees that Anthony Richardson is the future, like Brian's saying, and draft him that high.
You
at
can
4.
do more damage than good, though, playing Richardson right away.
No, I'm saying have him sit behind.
Maybe they'd sit on it. He doesn't strike me as the type making the impulsive Carson Wentz trade and that everybody looked at and went, what the fuck are you doing? He does not strike me as the type who's going to sit back and wait a year. He doesn't strike me as the type who's patient. Most coke addicts aren't, okay?
He's sober now.
Yeah. Most recovering coke addicts aren't patient. It's a personality trait.
It wasn't
okay,
coke. It was pills, I think.
Whatever.
It was both. Buddy.
Oh well.
You need the uppers and the downers, man.
Okay. I'm sorry, Brian.
Again, I think Richardson, his best fit is Seattle. I'm looking at the first 15 picks of that draft. There's no way Bill Belichick takes him. The Jets have no need. The Packers aren't going to do it. Certainly aren't going to do it. And if you got Love going out there, the Texans have 2 picks. They're not going to use them both on a quarterback, and I don't think they're going to take a project.
Okay, so let's say at number 2.
Tennessee, maybe.
Let's say at number 2 they take an edge rusher. 18 rolls around, Richardson's still on the board. Houston still does not want anything to do with it? At that far back,
there's no way that
12, I don't think he's there, though. I think Tennessee would, if they haven't traded up, will have taken him, and I think
12, not 18, sorry.
Yeah, 12, because Tennessee's got him.
Yeah, I don't know why I said 18.
Yeah, no, I don't. Houston could, if they don't go with one. If he's there, they could. I don't know that they'd be high enough on him. It's just he's got it because now you still have pressure to start him if you're Houston.
Right.
I just don't see a team taking Anthony Richardson that would have to start him from day one. And the only 2 in the first 15 picks that makes sense for are Seattle and Tennessee. Those are the only 2 quarterback situations where you could sit him for a year and let him learn the offense and learn the NFL and learn everything that it takes to be a leader and a quarterback in this league.
You don't think they're one of his last, Daniel Snyder, will just say fuck it, and Washington trades up for?
I think Daniel Snyder will not. You will not see or hear from him at the Daniel Snyder story. You'll hear about the new ownership group. You will not hear Daniel Snyder.
You don't think Daniel Snyder will barge in and say fuck it, let's trade half our draft to move up to get a quarterback?
No, he's hanging out with Jim Irsay that night.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry.
Hey, so let's say Richardson does fall. He goes to 12, 13, 14, 15, doesn't get picked, and you're the Bucs, who now only have to trade up potentially 1 spot or 2 spots.
Now you're just collecting former Florida quarterbacks.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
1 more, and we'll have the Infinity Stone.
Maybe I'm just a bitter Florida fan.
Maybe
which is
get Tim Tebow while we're at it.
Probably what it boils down to at the end of the day. But like I was saying months ago, I knew Richardson was going to be the guy to drop. I thought it was going to be drastic. I thought he was going to be like 2nd, 3rd round.
I may be bearing the lead here, though. Hold on real quick on Richardson. The Detroit Lions.
Oh, yeah, after Jared Goff.
The
they
Detroit
got 2
Lions,
picks.
They're not married to Goff beyond this year.
Beyond next year.
Yeah.
What are you going to get from Goff?
Yeah, so there's another potential spot. Now, the problem I have with that for the Lions,
shake things up, man.
The problem I have with that for the Lions is you are in a position to compete this year, unlike a lot of the other teams. And that's the problem for Seattle, too, right?
What the fuck just happened here?
Kind of the problem for Tennessee.
Brian.
What?
I don't know what the fuck I'm on now. I refresh it, and now they have Will Levis going to the Panthers, Bryce Young going to the Texans, Jalen Carter still going to the Cardinals, C.J. Stroud going to the Colts, Anthony Richardson going to the Seahawks.
They have Anthony.
What the fuck?
Pete Prisco clearly listens to this show. There is no doubt about it.
Oh, shit.
Look at that, huh?
I know. I started scrolling through. I'm like, this isn't the same list I just saw.
I will.
And then they have the Bucks. The Bucks.
Darnell
19,
Wright. What
Darnell
what
Wright.
the fuck?
At what? At number 19?
19,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fine. I mean,
That's what I said. That's what I think they're going to
He's
get.
not a bad one. I mean,
No,
he's not. He's not at the.
Not as much of a sure thing.
Not as certain as the top three.
And
But
this-
but he's good.
And this has what's his name? Your boy going to the Eagles for
Bijan?
Bijan Robinson.
Wow,
right
all the way
there.
to 30. No fucking way.
No. Listen to be clear.
Jack
'Cause first
Campbell
all,
off of the board before Bijan Robinson.
Well, I was going to say right there, that team right there will absolutely take Bijan if he's available at number 27 to Buffalo. There's no way that team with the terrible running back situation that they've had over the last 2 years doesn't take the best player available. I mean, you're talking about a top 2 or 3 talent in this draft going down to 30. There's just no way.
And there's Michael Mayer going to Green Bay.
And here's the beauty.
Yeah, there it is. Michael Mayer.
Oh, there. Oh,
Yeah,
look at
it's-
that.
yeah.
I'm telling you, Pete Prisco is listening.
What's
to
up,
Brian
Pete? How's it
Micheli.
going, buddy?
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, because his whole thing I'm looking through it. I'm like, man, this is not the same list that I was looking at earlier. Where's the Bucks at? And I'm having to scroll down.
Now Atlanta taking an edge rusher, Tyree Wilson.
Yeah, the edge or corner. That's. I mean, that's going to be it for Atlanta. That's so they could probably trade back.
I don't agree with the Bears pick though, getting an edge rusher
Well,
instead
I mean,
of
Will
offensive lineman.
Anderson. Will Anderson at 9 is going to be a steal. I think.
Yeah, I don't
but
know that he goes that far, but
I don't
we'll
think
see.
so either.
You still need an OT.
Who does Tennessee get in this new one? Scroll down.
Yeah,
Stay right there.
Right there.
Oh, there. Okay. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
No.
No.
Pete Scarron. No, I mean you don't have a quarterback to protect at this point if you're Tennessee for the future. Malik Willis clearly isn't it. They saw
guy's
enough
an ass
last year.
bucket.
I don't know that they take an O tackle, even though Skoronski's can't miss. But I don't know. I if I'm them, then I may be trading back.
Who are the QBs still on the board in this mock
Hendon
draft
Hooker.
too?
Hendon Hooker. That's it. This is my mock draft. This is everybody.
Yeah,
4
by
quarterbacks gone
5.
by pick number 5.
Yep.
I mean, this is literally what I was talking about. And then he hit refresh and it was there. That's crazy. If I'm Tennessee there, I trade back if I can because, Skoronski's great and all, but you're protecting who?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the Lions either going and drafting.
What does he say
end.
about Seattle taking
Anthony Richardson?
There, yeah.
Seattle can't wait for Richardson to sit and learn since they have Geno Smith. Oh, Jesus, Brian, are you sure you didn't write this fucking article? Richardson might have the most upside of any quarterback in this draft, but he has a lot of flaws that need to be fixed. That takes time. Seattle could give that to him. Jesus,
I've never
Brian.
listen, this is the first time I've heard of this Pete Prisco.
Oh
guy,
no,
so I
he's
think that's just your- okay.
Pete. Oh no, yeah, it's Brian's fucking.
It's my
ghostwriting name.
Ghostwriting name.
813. Jesus, Brian, that is exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
813. Last call of the day.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Hot Carl. Don't
Yeah,
Google me.
make it quick. Brian's got to go right for CBS Sports.
Real quick.
He's got
I'm
an
a little
article
late
to do it
'cause
too.
I'm a little behind. I had to rewind a little bit on YouTube. But what do you guys think about a draft pick for that Gibbs guy, the running back? Because I know I've been hearing a lot about the Dolphins trying to work out some deals because I think he's going to be like the 50-something pick or so.
Oh no, he's not going to go that far. He'll be
the kid
gone
from
by early
Tulane?
second round. No, the kid from Alabama,
Okay, all right.
Okay, so he's from Alabama. Is he
Jameer
good?
Gibbs. He's good. He's good.
Now let me ask you this real quick. What do you think is a better option? We do some funky Comedina and try to get Dalvin Cook, or we trade up to try and get that guy.
The
'Cause,
Dolphins.
Like right now, we just have Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. with a backup Ahmed and Gaskin. Which, I mean, Mostert and Jeff Wilson were pretty decent, but I mean, I kind of wanted Derrick Henry or Dalvin Cook. But a lot of people are saying Dalvin Cook is Cook, and we should go for that Gibbs guy. So I just wanted on you guys' opinion on that.
I would never trade and count on an old running back in the NFL other than 1 year.
27, 28.
I think Jameer Gibbs goes somewhere between 32 and 40. He will not be there when the Dolphins pick at 51, so they absolutely will have to trade up to get him. Now, my thing with the running back is this. If you truly believe in that running back, then you trade up with Kansas City to 31 and you take them in the first round so you can get that 5th-year option with them. Because after 5 years, they're worthless anyways. So they're almost all plug-in. They're like Glade plugins, right? They've got about 5 years of value, and then they're not worth the second contract. So
True.
if I'm going to take a back like that, if I was going to take him at 40, I'll take him at 31 to get that 5th year out of him if I truly am sold that he's going to be the future. The Dolphins definitely need a running back, though. You can't.
Can he catch the ball out of the backfield, Dalvin Cook?
Cook?
Yeah.
He's okay.
Is he pretty good? Because I'm sure.
Cook can catch a little bit.
Oh, okay. Because I'm sure their quarterback too. You really need to have that accuracy on dropping off the ball.
Hey Brian, I'll let you guys go. Don't lose faith on Tua, man. Yeah. Great show today, guys.
I've been protecting Tua for everybody.
Yeah, you've been protecting him, and Dalvin Cook can protect him too because he can dump off his 2-yard pass, and Dalvin Cook can run for 15 yards and. Brian will think it's all fucking Tua. But you know what? That's besides the fact. Brian, Rhett, you know what? Brian's got to get out of here. I figured he was going to go do some lawyerism stuff, but looks like he is going to be writing for CBS Sports. I'm going to keep hitting fresh. It is Brian Babyface Pete Prisco, which I did not know, Brian, but that was really good of you. And
I look forward to your appearance on the NFL Network today too.
Yeah, me too.
I know we kept you, but
sorry, Brian.
That's the real reason I have to get out of here.
You got to go to the #1 sports show in the world at 1:30.
That was kind of nuts, though. Everything that he had a completely different mock, and then everything that we discussed and said on here, all of a sudden it's in that mock.
Exactly. Yeah, I kind of started losing my shit when I scrolled up and I saw Seattle with Anthony Richardson. I was like, what the fuck?
It was pretty funny that Darnell Wright fell to 19.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good. That was good on you too. I think that is probably
and the Packers. And the Packers taking Mayer too.
Will be gone.
Michael Mayer going to the Packers.
But if I'm the Bucs, I'm not trading up for him for any of those guys.
Fuck them. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Rhett.
Thank you, Lummy.
I appreciate it, Brian. Thank you so much for your 5 jobs that you do and coming into here. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Lummy Sports Show. I hope that let me check my thing here. That you guys were able to sit back, relax, and get ready for some sports talk like you've never heard it before. Don't forget to check out.
You forgot the Let's Go.
Oh well, we already Let's Go. Let's end it now. So don't forget to check out the Bubba Love Sponge Show, obviously on Rumble.com/The Bubba Army, Kick.com, KICK.com, The Bubba Army. Thank you, everyone. We'll be live tomorrow, 6 a.m. on those platforms, and also the after show right here on YouTube and Facebook. For all your Bubba Army merch, go to Bubba Army Shop, Bubba Army Store, and BubbaArmyMerch.com. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next week. Have a great rest of your day.